We need more competition.
No. Hey.
We need more competition.
I'm a
everything. Photos too.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah, so wait.
Hold on.
Like we need that. Like
friendly competition.
Make a claim.
No.
We need competition though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Friends, when you push your friend, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Well, my iron is greater than yours. That's all.
Yeah.
And if you want to, we can shoot a challenge. Come shoot
the challenge.
Come get washed.
Yeah, you know.
Hey.
Now you try to whisper, it got you.
This one got you.
I know that.
We're gonna put it into a viral clip soon.
And we need a couple of them. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of CurbTalks East. Today we're joined by two very funny individuals, right? These are funny, right? And there's nothing wrong with being funny, like good personality. Maybe that comes off a little better, right? Great work. Like for me, as somebody that has started to get more into the craft of like photography and videography through my styling creative direction, like I really look at what they do and I'm like, nah, like I'm taking notes, you know? So don't mind if this episode is a lot of like me just picking their brains for personal gain. I hope that y'all can relate with a lot of the questions that I'm going to ask today. I like my guests to introduce themselves, you know. I feel like the first time on a pod, you talk about yourself, it's easy. It's cool.
What's up, everybody? My name is John. I graduated from UMD in 2019.
Relic.
I've been doing this creative thing with photography, videography for about 5 years now. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. Learning about me as the podcast goes on.
For sure.
I'm a slander, John. He didn't really give a proper intro. He said 3 things and said this is about me. So good evening or good afternoon or good morning, no matter what day or time you're watching this. My name is Bright Ofosu Jr. I am a filmmaker, photographer, based in the Washington, D.C. area. You see my intro? It's proper, right?
Proper.
There we go.
This guy he's been here before.
You understand? So, you know, I shoot here and there. I make some visuals and I have a good time. In my hobbies, I enjoy track and field. And my favorite color is black. And that's a little bit about me.
It's actually so solid.
Nah, man, I think that's actually the best intro that we got on the pod.
Yeah.
No, don't get
all season.
I could have school, you know.
I was like, no school affiliation. You can't know where I went. Find it.
I like that though. I like that. I'm actually the same way.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm actually the same way.
Where would you go to school? I tried.
Track and field. What events have you ran?
110, the hurdles. I did long jump, triple jump. I tried high jump till my knee cracked. It's over here. I said, nah. I love the open 2. I didn't like the 1. And then I was cool with the 4x1 if they allowed me to run it. Coach sometimes was just, no faith. I had faith in myself though, but he didn't want to bet on me, so that's on him.
That's real.
Yeah.
John, you play sports?
Yeah, I played football in high school, and then I play a little basketball now here and there.
Okay. Are you tall?
Nah.
See, he's
I'm a lefty though, so I can shoot though. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's real.
I just know how to shoot. Everything else is just cardio. I don't take it too seriously.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you. Yeah. Y'all shoot a lot of different categories, right? We can go music videos, we can go commercials, we can go promo work, you know, we can go to the moon and back, right? Listing what y'all do. All right, but what is your favorite thing to shoot? So first, photo or video? In terms of preference.
Film, automatic.
Why?
It's much more.
I feel like I could tell my story a little better with my film.
Yes.
Photos are just like that moment. You feel what you feel. Video, I got like more control.
I agree with that.
You have more time to tell your story with video. With photo, you can still tell the story, but it's limited to that one image, that one frame. But the visuals, we can tell you how we were feeling over time.
Yeah.
and show you the changes in our emotion over time, which you can't do with photo. Photo, you capture maybe one emotion. You can, depending on whatever image you capture, you can maybe do multiple, but video allows more flexibility.
Y'all, we'll get back to the question. To this point, y'all dropped the Utopia work, right?
Yeah.
What's the
Talk
joke?
about it.
What's the joke?
What you want to know about Utopia?
Y'all dropped 4 different posts, or
Yeah.
4 different parts, and I seen the first one was more subjects, a lot of negative space. Then you kind of went through between the different scenes. What was the concepts with telling a story with?
I can speak to that Utopia project. So with the Utopia project, I wanted to show controlled chaos,
Okay.
right? But we wanted to emphasize this is a visualizer off of off the songs of choice off of Travis's last album, Utopia, right? So I brought the idea to John. I said, hey, I want to do these 3 songs. Because originally I was going to do one. Actually, there's a longer backstory, but as to why we did Utopia, because it was supposed to be a totally different visualizer. But we can go into detail about that later. But we chose those 3 songs, and I think it was Telekinesis, Love, and Fiend, right? Because Fiend, of course, had to go in there as the most popular.
Yeah.
Love, once I had cut it up a little bit, I was like, I like how this sounds. And then what's the other joint? Telekinesis. I cut that one up a little bit, so I was like, this will work for an overall visualizer. I was like, I want to have totally different storylines that are all chaotic in themselves that still embody the theme of controlled chaos.
Yeah.
So every scene from, I think, which was the first one? The first one was...
It was with the guy in the chair.
No. That was
That
the
was the
promo.
promo.
That was the promo.
The first one was
the girl, the
walking,
dancing.
and then the guy running.
Exactly.
Abijah.
Yeah. So that one, the controlled chaos element was that she is walking, she's enjoying her time, right? But she's dancing wild to her music, which is the music of the
visualizer.
with the visualizer for that scene. Whereas the alternative crazy controlled chaos is that our main town's getting chased by a group of men. For what reason we don't know, but it just looks hectic because they're trying to chase him.
Yeah.
But then both storylines meet at the end. And we're just like, oh, she's just dancing on her own in the middle of the street, and these people are just chasing this other guy.
Yeah.
So it's 2 totally different storylines that meet at the very end. So that's the controlled chaos portion for that. For the love project, the love scene, the controlled chaos element for that was originally supposed to be the lighting fixtures, but we couldn't get them in time. So we went with this rapid dimming effect, right? What's controlled is their dance together, but what's crazy or chaotic is the fact that we're not getting enough of the dance. It's going in, out, repeatedly over and over again.
Yeah.
And then Fiend, I think that one speaks for itself. That one's just extremely hectic, right? Overall, it's just chaotic in every scene. From the mosh pit to the guitarist to the beat up scene to the fire scene at the very end. I think there's another scene I might be missing, but that might be all the scenes that we did for that one. Oh, it's the motorcycle scene as well. So they're all controlled in their own sense. It's like, we can start with the cyclists. They're doing a burnout in an open lot, but they're staying still. They don't move.
Yeah.
Controlled chaos. The mafia scene where they're beating up the gentleman. They're beating him up in one area and they're limiting it to that, controlled. Fire in itself is always a crazy element to look at. So that's why we wanted to have somebody staring at a fire, controlled. But fire itself is very hectic. Cool. And then I think the last one was the guitarist. When you think of music sometimes with the guitarist, sometimes they gotta be chill or they could be like very hectic rock star-like, and that's pretty controlled, but it's hectic within their own element where they're in the zone playing a certain riff or something. And that's what we wanted to like emulate with that guitar scene. And then what was the last one? The mosh pit. The mosh pit is hectic.
Yeah.
Right? But it's also controlled because it's like you still have the bounds of whatever your venue is, wherever you have a mosh pit. You've been to like any sort of hectic concert. Let's say, have you been to a Travis concert?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, you need to go. Like I went 2015 at the Fillmore when he came for the rodeo tour. That was the most. That was my first concert ever.
Ever.
Never been to a concert with Travis, right? Right.
Literally, bro.
And that was hectic, but it was controlled because we're bound by our venue. We're bound by the Fillmore. We can't get any more wild than that. And that's what we wanted in that mosh pit scene. I hope I didn't go off like on a tangent.
No, but like
thoroughly explain how long the project was.
Yes.
That's how long that project took so long to shoot. Like it
how
was not
long?
because of the
the
dates, but because of like schedules. You know, when you work on a lot of people, you just gotta account for people not being able to pull up.
Yeah.
Not being available at the last minute. Just inconveniences that, you know, part of the game. So that's why I kind of, and we traveled too.
We both left the country.
So we had to shoot that over like 2 years.
No, not 2 years. Hold on. It was like almost a year.
No, I'm saying like between 2 years, like it was 2024 and.
Oh, okay. Between like actual 2 years. 2 years. But yeah, we started.
I made something crazy.
Yeah, even something way worse. We started it in 2014. That's 2014. Wow. Sorry, my bad. 2024, August, we shot the first scene. And then originally it was actually for a totally different song. And then the artist had dropped an official visual for that song. So I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's why I switched it. Right. And like John said, then we both had traveled towards the end of the year. So we both left the country for a long time. He was gone for 3 weeks. I was gone for like a month. Then we came back and then now it's winter. So we're like, all right, we need to shift the scenes a bit. And then scheduling, managing other people's schedules with the talent, with the extras we have as well. So that definitely caused to get pushed back. And then there's I'll take some accountability, some just laziness on my part.
That's real.
I was like, this project getting too big to edit. And I was like, right. And then also making sure we wanted to have the appropriate rollout. Yeah. Because we had the visual finished, but we were like, we need to shoot the promo. So we shot the promo afterwards. Right. And that's the scene that you talk about. We talked about the first visual piece with the guy in the chair, which was me.
That was you?
Yeah. That was me in the chair.
Monday night.
We shot on a Monday night.
Parking lot.
Yeah. We got it done though.
What lens did y'all use for that? Like what?
24-70.
It was definitely like 24-70 on like, I don't know what the focal length was. I can't tell you. But we definitely used the 24-70.
Definitely 24-70.
We just had the 24-70. So we just had our camera. We had a lens. We had a chair, some rope, and some vision. That's it. The rope was from Lowe's. No, yeah, I bought it from Lowe's that same night. And it was too short, low key.
Tripod. Just tripod. Raise it up, angle it down a little bit, make it not as tall.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate two things from here. For one, the depth that you can go into on your projects. Like, I think it's such a big call to like the purpose behind it and like going back to telling that story to the creativity. All right. Because not every product needs an insanely big budget. All right. You should be able to make something with what you have. Agreed. So I want to spend a good part of the pod kind of like low-key going through some of your work and your portfolios and like talking about some of the stuff that happened.
Oh, I can go. I can trust.
Because I think it's very good for people to notice that like you see the work that they do and you admire it, but behind that there's like 15 inconveniences that happen, and half of those come the day of shooting. Right? So
I might as well just tell the story.
Wait, what story? Wait, hold on. Which
the story of Fire Drill, the video that people really love.
Oh, yes, Fire Drill.
People really love. It's like my most viral video. It's the one with all the girls acting as bees, like rapping his lyrics.
Okay. Yeah.
Bro, I actually tried to cancel that project the day of. Like, I had like 10 people scheduled to pull up, on like 15.
No, you had like 20.
20, maybe 20. And I think only like maybe 8 people pulled up. 8 a.m. in the morning Saturday. And it's an opening drill where it's like, you know, they let out of school. And it's supposed to be controlled chaos where it's like everyone's running and it's just that my one friend Danny just like drinking her Arizona. Like, she's like, not really like worried about anything else. And she said the intro lines of the song. I forgot the song. Like,
the lyrics.
Yeah. But I only seen like 8 people. And I told her, I was like, man, let's free this. Like, I'm like, we gonna shoot it, but this is dead. Yeah, I can't tell the extras that because they're like already pulled up, excited. I'm behind the scenes. I'm just like, this is dead to me, yo. And bro, like, yo, tighten up, like, stop being so stiff about it. You're like, just do it. Try our best. We're gonna coordinate them to move, and we're gonna go from there. At that point, I was like, all right, come on, let's go. So we shot it. And then the fact that it just turned out to be like
so tough,
like one of the best shots we've done. so far it's like, damn, like just good to just see things through. Cause like, again, the inconvenience of a lot of people, like, right before telling me they'll pull up, then the morning of, I'm calling people like, yo, where you at? They're like, man, got too late yesterday. Cause we using our friends. We not, that was a free project. We didn't spend no money on like $0 budget. Everything's outside or like in an apartment of a friend or my own. And yeah, so the inconveniences, it makes you think quicker on your feet.
Yeah.
Creative. You just got to really rely on your team to like cook something up last minute.
So if you go back and you watch Fire Drill really closely, what we had the extras do is that we had them run back and forth. So it looks like there's a lot more people. So if you really look closer, you can see who does a quick
almost everyone
made it back.
Goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Almost. Because it wasn't enough people. And mind you, my idea was I wanted honestly, I really wanted 50 people. Like going crazy and just manually set the focus to the main character in the middle. So we just see so much going on, but you really only focus on one thing. That's what I really wanted, but in due time.
I feel like y'all like control chaos.
That's actually more me, if anything. I like things more hectic.
Okay, and what would you say you lean more towards to?
What he leans more to? What he leans?
Yeah.
Or what the people think he leans?
What do people think he leans towards?
Everybody thinks that JBV like love. Go look at his best project. It's all about love. Look.
The thing is, love just sells.
See?
I'm a businessman first.
You're a businessman first. So, what was your major?
Business information systems.
Wow.
Okay.
Educate me?
Yeah.
Mechanical engineering.
Engineering.
Yeah. Electrical.
Electrical?
Yeah.
My dog.
I'm a business guy first, so I'm just like, what would get my work out there the fastest? Love.
Yeah.
Love. But every time, so I just
people love a good love story.
Oh, every time. Eat that up every time. No date. But yeah, love just sells. So people may think I like love, but I really don't like shooting love like that because it doesn't look as authentic for real. If they don't really date each other or they don't feel comfortable with
it's
each
hard
other,
breaking past that barrier for sure.
And you don't want people to feel uncomfortable either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, are you cool with that? Making sure everybody's cool because I just don't want to, when somebody go home and be like, oh, that was really awkward. That'd be the worst thing. I always want to make sure everybody's comfortable. We're on the same page. And I also never have anybody kiss on anybody else.
Yeah.
Hugging, leaning on each other. That's kind of where I cap out because unless you're a real couple, I'm not going to feel comfortable even
shooting that. Yeah.
It's too you know what I'm saying? We get the point.
Yeah.
We get the point. So.
With that being said, going back to my original question, what do y'all like shooting in terms of the type of content? Kind of with music video, commercial. Is it personal projects that are more so on a smaller budget or bigger projects that you have a budget? What are we thinking?
I think that question is by director. So what is director JBV like to shoot more of?
I love commercials and I'm more of a commercial guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I like advertising a product.
Yeah.
Or a person. So music videos also fall in that line of advertising a person.
Person, yeah.
I just gotta like the song. That's just my thing. I'm very picky on song choice. I've only shot one official music video as a director.
Foggy Raw?
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing music video.
Thank you. With the help of Brady.
Of course.
Not the help of me, the whole team. Because I
want to preface this by saying these two work a lot together.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, wait, unfortunately.
I'm joking. I'm fortunate to have director JBV in my life. Without him, I wouldn't be who I am today. Thank you, sir.
But there's a lot of stuff that I see you on, I see him on, right? We see JB Vogue, we see KidInBox. And how did y'all come up with these names as well?
Tell them to get him.
I have an abbreviated story for mine.
I don't even know. I feel like I always go by JB since high school. My name is John Boss. My last name is not even Boss, but I just made myself Boss. In middle school. So I was JB. And then I was in college, I'm what can I add? Because JB is not really.
Yeah.
So I added the JBV, but it was JB Vogue, and then the abbreviated is just JBV.
Yeah.
It's no real backstory to it. But JBV just sound kind of cool. Attachment to JB, so yeah, I'm right with that.
For me, for KidInBox, it came about, I think, y'all remember Hurricane Sandy?
Yeah.
Yo, there was. I'm gonna make it real quick. I'm gonna make it real quick. So on my Facebook page, I remember I had like a box, and I took a picture of me in a box, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready for Hurricane Sandy." Like, I don't know, comical joke. I was in like 9th grade or whatever, or 10th, and then
You had Facebook at 9th grade in the DMV? My bad.
I'm like, damn, was I on Facebook?
I'm like, okay.
you definitely were on Facebook. And see,
I don't got hype.
that's huh?
My Facebook got hype by somebody in Indiana.
You being so serious?
He's not lying. It's
I'm
gone.
serious. I can't get it back.
No, he's not lying. But at the time, Twitter was coming around, so I was like, you know what? Let me change my my Twitter handle because I kept changing it, and I was like, what do I want to use? And then I saw the picture of me in the box. I was like, oh yeah, KidInBox. Boom, and that's how I made KidInBox. Yeah,
I don't think I used
that's I'm not gonna show you the photo. This photo's crazy.
Please.
No. But that's where KidInBox came from because it was a nah. It was a kid in the box. So I was a KidInBox, but it's KidInBox, not Kid in the Box. That's wrong. KidInBox. All right. So that's where that came about.
No, I like it. But I keep cutting y'all off. Did you answer?
What? Oh, which one?
Favorite category?
Oh, I was just I said
Can you actually say it right now? I'm like, everyone needs to know this right now. I'm begging you to explain what's your favorite lane of.
As of right now, in this season of my career, I would say I'm moving more towards the music video direction. So the shop is open. Y'all know what to do. I would say, but music videos and then commercials are good. Experiences. I like covering experiences as well because
You've done a lot of concert work. Hence the
I've done a lot of experiences, and the thing is, some of it's still not even there. But like, there's a lot of stuff that I've had a part in, or I've helped other people with, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly. So I do enjoy when it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, just keep me home.
Yeah. So what? But I 100% agree with that. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. So what makes sense? Like, if somebody's watching this right now, right, and they're like,
"Oh, they want to hire me?"
Yeah, like,
first of all, hire me. No, let's talk money. No, but like in all seriousness, though, like it needs to. If the team that's reaching out is not organized, or they don't have their stuff together, I'm more likely to decline because I'm like, I don't want to get to a project where I don't know my access. I don't know what I need to shoot, what they cover. It's just, that doesn't make sense. It's like, I'm working extra hard when we should be working as a team, as opposed to I'm sourcing one individual to do work. So no, it's critical like that. Because when you're working concerts, events, and such like that, you want to be on a team working together because it just makes everything run smoothly. Everybody should know their task, their role, and such. And if you're on a team where you don't know, then you'll just be filming whatever. And then that makes the job harder for the editor and then for people that are delivering the deliverables to the client. It just makes everything much more difficult. So we have to make sure, I like to work with people that are on the same page in that regard. When they're not, I'm just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So keep me at home.
You had brought up the editor, right? And going through the process, right? Making the art, but then crafting that to give it to the client. We were talking earlier and I was asking for some advice on transitions, right? And you were talking about how it's easier to do it in cam. I kind of want to touch on that because I feel like with a lot of times, the way I shoot, when I try to do in cam, it's hard for me to farm that out to somebody to edit. All right. So I wanted to ask y'all about, I know that y'all do edit, right? But do you prefer to edit when you're working on a project? Or if not, how do you portray your idea like concisely to your editor?
I think the most important thing is pre-production, right? So if you don't have pre-production and you're just shooting and then you say, I'm gonna piece it together later, that makes it much harder.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing actually though. It helps practice your it trains your creativity because you don't have like me right now, when I'm working on a project, every shot is boom, boom, boom. I'm either trimming clips down or figuring out how to like get to one clip to another. But like everything is kind of planned. But when you don't have anything planned, it kind of trains your creative mind to like figure out how I'm gonna keep the audience engaged, you know. But I think if you're talking about how do you go from A to B smoothly and more efficiently, I would definitely say pre-production. Like I would right now, I would legit go to a site, take photos and videos of the shots we want to do the day of, so that we can like practice that in post production. So if there's let's say there's a transition you like that you've seen from us, it looked a little confusing. We probably went outside, tried it without the client or without our like main character there, and then make sure that we're able to edit it as opposed to doing it the day of. It don't work.
And I know those.
So pre-production and practicing first really help with transitions too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I've been saying this for like the last couple of pods, but like the difference between the people that go far in their field and the people that don't is the level of care, right? Because for you to go to a site, record, then work that in post just to make sure that you have it down packed when you actually record, that's dedication, to say the least. To say the least.
Yeah, I think we do it more often than not. If we have a client, we're 95%, 99, like 100% gonna do it. Like we're gonna try our best to replicate all the shots we can before we shoot to make sure that we give the best product.
Yeah.
So when you get that product, you're like, yeah, this is worth it.
Yeah. Talking about clients, right? We've worked with Nike. We've worked with
Meta. Yeah.
We've worked with Meta.
Yeah.
Not for real. We've worked with Outlander, Walmart.
Yeah, there's some of them are secret. Yeah, Walmart's there too. They're there.
How, like, for one, how does it feel to like when you got your first like big client, quote unquote, right? What was the emotions that kind of went through? Like, dang, like we're doing this. And how does it feel to do work that such big corporations are proud of?
Well, right through the alley-oop. So when he told me the number, I said, God is good. God is good. We out the hood.
We made it.
I would say that the feeling, I was like, oh, wow, like this is actually real. Because it's like you work so hard and then you're like, oh, wow, like my work is being seen by this said larger corporation that believes that I could do said work. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's make it happen. Let's make it work. So first it's like shock, but then it's like, okay, I'm excited to actually do this work now. Well, not that I wasn't before, but like I'm excited. I'm excited to do. Not that I wasn't before, but I'm excited to get this work done. So definitely from shock to excitement, and then to
preparation. We learn a lot of preparation working with those.
Some of those
require it actually.
Really?
Yeah, some of like the larger companies require you to be prepared. So if you think you can come and run and gun, you're not.
You think, oh, I'll show you what I got later. I'll show you what I got later. Yeah.
Before some of them, before we even started, it's all about you spend more time prepping, pitching before you even get to filming. By the time you're filming, everything's already concrete. They know exactly what they're getting, and there's a little bit of free time to express yourself a little bit and experiment. Fine, but you have to give them what they ask for because you're not. Yes, they're compensating you to work on something on their behalf, but it needs to fit their vision because at the end of the day, you're working for them. Client, right? And if they don't like it, you don't get paid. So make sure you work with what they require. And how do you do that? It's by thorough pre-production.
And pre-production, we're talking about like kind of planning out the scenes, whether it's like lines maybe that you want people to say.
So this could be anything from your scripting, from your storyboarding, shot selection, your scouting, equipment list to reviewing, even your outfits, working with all the teams prior. So like working hand in hand with a stylist saying, oh, this is what they're wearing. Cool. Like John said, going to locations and doing location visits, seeing how it looks, checking even for the direction of where the sun will be. Just so you know, do we need to bring in more gear, more or less?
That's all right, let me like.
What happened?
I'm gonna say like, yeah, if it's outside, automatically checking where the sun is. Because let's say right now in the summertime, you shooting 3 o'clock, the sun is straight up, your shot's gonna be chopped.
Yeah.
Shot's gonna be chopped.
So with those larger companies, that pre-production gotta be
on point.
The budget is crazy where you can like really control the light and get screens and all types of. When you're working with a smaller budget, you get more creative. So
yeah, for sure.
The pre-production needs to be tighter. even when you're working on your own stuff to prepare you so that when a client does come to you, like, oh, this guy, you know their stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you want people to come in and be like, this was worth my bang for my buck. Like, I got my bang for my buck. As opposed to, maybe we can work with them again. Just be like, no, like, these are the guys. If I want to get something done,
I'm doing it again.
Pre-productions where you show that. I'm telling you, there will be more amazed at your pre-production process than post-production because they're used to seeing you put out good work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now they see what goes in behind the work. They're like, I get it. Like, it makes sense why they do things like that.
This is very insightful. You talked about equipment list. What do y'all shoot with?
I shoot with FX3 and a Sony A7 IV. That's for photography. FX3 is for film.
I have the Sony A7S III, but I use it for both.
Okay.
It's really a main video camera, but I use it
Sony for life.
It's crazy, right? We had our last episode. We had a photographer on here, shot by Toby.
You had Toby on this?
Yeah.
Toby, put that Nikon down.
That's actually what something I was talking about, bro.
Put that Nikon down. I don't care. Toby, when you see this, put that Nikon. Actually, text me when you see this. Put that Nikon down.
We both started shooting with Nikon.
Mm-hmm.
I had a D3500. I'm not gonna lie, like we was talking about, like, I'm in the market for a new camera.
Oh, don't worry, come shop. Yeah, we tell you what you need. Don't go to Nikon again. Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not sold on Sony.
That's fine.
I think for video, I'm like, for pod at least, right? If we're talking equipment, I want to go to FX30s just because we need 3 of them. Yeah, and then probably like a A7 IV because we've been taking pictures too, like thumbnail.
Yeah, perfect hybrid. Trust me.
And I think that especially because we're a younger like production, like Kendall, he just started producing this year, right? So for him to be where he's at now, I kind of like, all right, one ecosystem, let's keep it simple for whether like he can't make it sometimes, have a friend fill in or whatever the case may be. Personally though, I'm in between anything but Sony. I'm in between Canon.
What, you gonna get R5?
I was thinking about an R6.
Oh, R6.
Yeah.
Right, go buy it. No. Go buy it. R6.
I'm thinking about...
No, the R6 is good though.
Yeah, I'm thinking about R6. I'm thinking about getting a Lumix. Just because...
You know, ball.
I think about getting a Lumix because it can shoot 6K.
Are you going to shoot
6K? Your
6K?
computer process?
Yeah.
My computer... We'll look at my computer after we're done. My computer can for sure process 6K. For sure. I have a 3070 in there. Graphics card.
I had a feeling you talking graphics. I was like,
Apple. I'm like, is it entry or not?
Nah.
You said when you said that, I said graphics card. I said,
yeah. So
I don't know much.
But and like I was thinking that because of commercials, I was like, all right, it could maybe come out cleaner if I did slow mo. It could be a little sharper or whatever. But speaking to y'all, that y'all actually do this, I'm assuming that I don't really need 6K and like it's cute.
Everyone processes and watches things in 1080p for the most part.
Yeah. Even the clients you deliver to take it 1080p because you give them a 4K file, they're going to downsize it 1080. You can't watch it most places on 4K. Yeah. If you don't have a 4K monitor, you can't watch 4K, like true 4K. If you don't have a 6K or 8K monitor, you can't watch it unless you have those monitors. Yeah. You need the monitor.
Well, it's not useless, but it's like
for now, there's no real point. Yeah.
Well, you can downsize, like, let's say you shoot 6K but downsize it to 1080. It's going to look insanely sharp. It'll still look very nice.
Would it look sharper than me just shooting
4K?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like better, but it's gonna be subtle. But we'll know. It'll still look
there's
very
a
nice.
difference. There's a difference.
There's a difference.
There's a difference. 1080p and 6K is a huge difference. Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice. Maybe I want to say maybe not subtle between the 4K and 6K because I've seen people upload like footage from the Blackmagic Pocket like 6K.
Yeah.
And downsize it 1080 and it looks way sharper than 4K. So it's still gonna look very nice. Okay. But it's like, do you want to have such a heavy workflow and punish your computer? Yes or no?
But the glass matters too, though. It's not like shooting 6K. Like, you shooting 6K on what type of lens?
Kit lens?
Kit lens? Like,
finish.
just use your phone. Like, I'm playing though. Like, phone can shoot some crazy stuff now.
Now, don't get me wrong. You can get nasty with a kit lens, but it's all about your skill. That's for later. Yeah. Just for those of y'all that got a kit lens and get busy.
No, gear matters.
Gear matters when,
to an extent.
When skill has exceeded the gear. Yes. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all both shoot differently. You have a hybrid shooter,
No. My camera is actually a video camera,
but you shoot it as a hybrid.
Yes.
And you have a dedicated video and photo.
I gotta get like big bro.
So how do y'all like feel about your setups, right? Like you kind of watching him being able to kind of
I'm not worried about that. I don't worry about that stuff, bro.
Well, to be fair, the FX3, his video camera, and my camera are the exact same. It's the same camera. It's just different builds. Like his camera just has a fan. It's the same sensor, same exact sensor.
Okay.
Same feature. It's just like small stuff, like the record buttons at the top. It shows you red light, white balance. They have certain buttons. It's like
it's more geared for
filmmakers. So, but it's the same exact specs. Like
shooting wise,
same thing. We shot the same thing
side by side. You would have known. They look the same. So people don't know that. A lot of people
hear FX3. Like,
oh my gosh, I need FX3. It's the same thing as the S3. The S3 came right before the X3, like 8 months before.
I actually had that camera. It got messed up, and then I just upgraded it because it was like the price was cool. They were like $400 more to get the FX3. I was like, I might as well just do that right now.
Yeah.
So.
And why do y'all shoot Sony?
I'm not gonna lie. Like I started shooting on my iPhone, and then I met Bright, and he was using Sony, so he kind of like showed me the way of Sony.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if somebody showed me Canon, I probably would have went Canon. I learned more about film through him when I first started. So
Yeah.
when he said Sony, I was like, I guess I'm gonna try something. And if I didn't like it, obviously I'll switch. But I had Canon before, and yeah, it was trash. So that was just
What Canon you have?
T Rebel, like a Rebel.
Okay,
like
okay.
Yeah. From Walmart bundle package.
You can get nasty with it. It's just not meant for video. That camera's a photo camera.
And I know I want to do film, so I was like Sony movies. You know what I'm saying? Like it just made sense for me to do.
At the time.
Yeah, at the time. Yeah, and I still want to keep it Sony until I go like.
What? Red, Black Magic.
You're talking about that red, bro. Please don't get him started. Just please.
It's only a matter of time before y'all jump into the Sony. I mean the Reds, the Black Magics.
Yeah.
What else?
Black Magic. Hold on. Why you saying Black Magic like that? We already above.
Huh?
We already above the Black Magic. Well, some Black Magic.
That's
some Black Magic.
Calling all the Black Magic shooters. He said we above y'all. Yeah, we stomping all necks. We breaking all necks. Go head to head with a Black Magic shooter. We crush him, we kill him. You understand? We see you at the top, looking down at y'all. No.
We need more we need more competition.
No. Hey. I'm on
everything. Photos too.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah, so wait.
Hold on. Like we need that. Like
friendly competition.
Make a claim.
No.
We friendly competition though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Like when you push your friend, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
But my iron is greater than yours. That's all. Yeah. And if you want to, we can shoot a challenge. Come shoot
the challenge.
Come get washed.
You think you like that? Come.
Nah, next time though, I actually want to go head to head with y'all. Because I actually want to see what I could produce.
No, I believe you could produce.
And the thing is, like,
after us. Let me stop playing.
We will like teach you something, put you on game after.
Who's to say he can't put us on game?
You gonna get work. You gonna get pushing your limits.
No, and that's what like because even with the 2 commercials I've done, very like I think the second commercial for me has been it was better in terms of actually doing pre-production, right? Kind of playing out what I wanted to do. But like I think moving forward, like my fall winter collection, like I'm really trying to make this something. Like this commercial, I want this to be something, bro. So this would be actually good prep. Like this is gonna be, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna be good. Like I like what y'all do. So it's like, how can I match up? You know, where am I lacking in? What am I seeing? Because
we'll also learn from you as well. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody learns from everybody.
Everybody learns from everybody. Like you could teach us something one day while we're shooting, and I'm like, wow, I never thought about it from that perspective. You know, so
yeah.
And that's the key, keeping your mind open because you never know who you can learn from. Because I guarantee you right now, there's a 10-year-old that can wash all of us in this room right now.
Oh, see,
right? Who started his career at 8 because his parents have more bread to invest in him than we
the
do.
TikTokers, what? I see somebody glitching like players. I said, hey, you shooting sports, it's tough.
Yeah.
The video editors, remember, what they have over us is that they have time and somebody else's money to invest in them. So it's hard to play ball with those kids. Them kids is cooking on TikTok right now. You go put your edit, woo, finish.
Man, those kids are nasty.
Bro, I be seeing kids like, oh, my first camera, Sony A7 IV. Huh?
Wow.
What? Pardon?
Go pick up a football.
No, for real. Go play sports. Like,
No.
Part of it is fake though. Let me explain. It's the first that they're sharing on the internet. We know y'all had other cameras before. Don't lie to us. Because we all do.
I mean, some people just really be having it like that.
No, some do.
yeah.
But some, it's the first that they're sharing.
Yeah, they
We gotta remember that. Not everybody says this is my first camera. It's not your first camera. We know you had another one
Before.
right? You trust. We know.
People be faking it, trying to look sweet.
Would y'all ever get into weddings?
So
You know, I want to preface this by saying one thing I don't like about these guys. I ask them a question. They have their internal life, bro. But all right, would you actually do weddings? What's the
Film or photography first?
okay, you can.
But y'all do both.
Okay,
So-
I think right now we would be more likely to shoot a wedding on
Film.
film than to take photos.
Okay, so photography. I mean, my fault. Film.
Film, if we are A and B shooters or like B and C shooters and we don't have to edit it, fine. Give me a task. But if I'm the head editor of that project, I think I'm gonna swerve on the project, bro. Unless the budget really like
Entices you.
It moved me. Like,
Yeah.
because weddings is a lot of work, bro. You only get one time to shoot that moment. Like she walking down the aisle and your gimbal shake up or something.
Because gimbals really be
Bro.
vibrating, bro.
Gimbal like, oh, this is important for you. This is important for you. Bet. Watch me work. They don't look. Just go.
They be like, so why's the footage later? You be like, well,
They'll just.
No,
I'm telling you,
bro.
like, personally,
Gimbals be cooking me, bro.
gimbals, I don't use that gimbal no more, bro. Like,
What do y'all use for stabilization?
no, we know. We still use a
mine
gimbal.
just. Oh, wait. Like I just try to outthink the gimbal. Like, how can I get the shot without needing that gimbal? That's
So-
how much I hate it.
But sometimes you still need a gimbal. Depends. Like for weddings and events.
You need
For weddings,
you
yes.
need a gimbal.
All events, no. Most events that I shoot, experiences I shoot, I don't use a gimbal. My gimbal's been broken for 2 years. I'm being dead serious. The warranty about to expire this November. I gotta
Bro,
replace it.
get it replaced, bro.
I mean,
Just
we
that.
got one in the shop, so it's cool. Like, we got one that we can use.
The one
Yeah.
we need to use is his. If I need it,
Is yours, bro.
yeah. If I need it, I'll be like, bro, I'm down bad. I need it. But like, my gimbal's been broken for 2 years. Like that shows you how often I use it. I don't use my gimbal. Like I don't think, oh, I'm having to shoot. What gimbal am I going to use? I barely use it. All right.
No, but back to the question you said.
Oh, my bad.
Weddings.
Oh yeah, what? So
Headache, bro. Headache, trust.
the reason why I got my first camera is because I actually had to shoot a wedding. Because I started shooting everything on my phone at first, all right? And once I got the wedding inquiry, I was like, I can't shoot somebody's wedding on a phone. I know some people are bold now, but a couple years ago, I was not doing that. I was like, nah, I'm going to buy a camera. And that wedding showed me a lot.
Which one was this?
It was on a military base in 2019.
Oh, I didn't even know you.
Yeah, that one it was an outdoor wedding. I was the only shooter. I had no help. My other friend was shooting the photos. They were spanking both of us. At one point, I stopped shooting video to help him shoot photos because that's how many people were pressing for photos. And he did his best, right? Bro, that wedding, nah.
Change your life.
Shout out to that couple. God bless you. Because y'all, they took a leap of faith and shot with me. I didn't shoot no weddings prior, but hey, look, presented myself. I was like, yeah, don't worry, your experience, I covered it. I did my best. I covered everything, though. Don't get me wrong, I covered everything. It was just tough.
It's a lot of work.
But like what John said, though, if there is a wedding where we need to be like second and third shooters, I have no problem. But I do not want to be involved in the like post-production effort. No, I'm good. I don't want to be editing with the editor.
Like, you got the people like kids and huggers. Like,
Mind you, this
Says
is
the guy that does love.
sales, right? I might got something for y'all.
but love sells though. Like, mind you, I have good friends and associates that cover weddings, and they do great, and that's their thing, and that's their bread and butter. But also, it's not a matter of that we can't shoot weddings. It's also like you need to have interest. I'm not interested in shooting your wedding, so don't
Yeah.
ask me to shoot your wedding. If I shoot your wedding, sure, but am I going to give you the best level of quality? No, I'll give you
Quality
quality.
would be good.
You will have quality, but will I like doing it? No. So will I have the same level of passion? Slightly, no.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested in shooting your wedding. So I've had friends that personally asked me, "Oh, can you film my wedding?" I said no. Just like, no. It's better for me to be a guest at your wedding than for me to shoot your wedding and then you never get the footage from me because I might not edit your wedding.
That's insane.
No, but
I'd rather be honest. I'm not gonna
have a hard drive, bro.
So much stuff.
So much stuff that's just sitting there, bro. I don't even know if I'll ever get to it or touch it, bro, but it's there.
I just shoot my VHS, run over everybody's tape. I'll get you in the moment, but man, if you don't hit me up that weekend, that tape is priority.
It's cleared, bro.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna shoot somebody's wedding. Now, if you pay the right price and I'm that second shooter,
oh yeah,
I'm there at 6 a.m. The wedding start at 10. I'm there at 6 a.m. Don't worry,
second
I'm never
shooter,
late.
I'm so locked in, bro.
Second, third,
so
bro.
locked in. Too easy.
I'm a proud second. I don't want the stardom of being a top tier wedding. No. Let me shoot under the top guy. Oh, you need this? I got you. Just send me home with the check. I'm good for the day.
And we're straight.
Yeah, I just pay well. So.
Yeah. It's just not.
You probably paid the best.
No. It depends also what area you live in. They pay very well in this area, DMV area.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But
Between here and New York, what would you say the hierarchy is for
weddings?
No, for what pays the best.
Oh, New York by far.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry. Like, or between, like, in terms of area between here and New York, like, what categories, like weddings or like what commercial, what brand, like, what would you say, like, how would you list out?
I think the only DMV might have over New York is like wedding. The wedding space in the DMV is like really big, like important.
Yeah.
I think New York kind of trumps in every other category, like commercials, music videos. I feel like they just understand budget a little bit more on the creative side.
Okay.
As far as DMV, like they love budget, fine. Creativity, it's like
they don't really see the value.
Depends who you talk to. Some people are willing to invest in their craft, and some people are just like, "Hey, I have this amount," and I'm just like, "That's cool, but I can't help you with that."
Yeah.
Respectfully, it's like I can't do that.
But wedding and corporate is very good in this area.
Yeah, they'll pay.
Not that it's not good in New York, but like New York, generally New York, even in weddings will outshine DMV because the budgets will still be higher.
Yeah.
But if we're just comparing, what is the DMV better for?
DMV people spend a lot of money on weddings, bro.
I'm not saying
It's like Super Bowl.
but they can't outshine New York. You saying New York got bread. You saying
They got bread, but
they'll drop
as far as love, though, I think DMV spends the most on love, bro. Between the two, if I had to guess.
we can drop a poll for this pod.
Yeah.
Y'all can check
Poll will be dropped.
That's
What
the
do you-
racist poll.
No, the poll we dropped.
The poll on love.
Who's spending more bread, New York or DMV on love?
On love,
Yeah.
gotta be DMV.
It gotta be New York. Gotta be New
I got
York.
a dollar on DMV.
I got all my bread on Manhattan, the financial district, and buy everybody.
We know.
Let me chill. Yeah.
And then going more into your shooting your craft, right? Production company, Untitled. Right? No?
No, that's it. You're
Okay.
right.
All right, man. Right? What does Untitled offer, separate from JBV and KIV?
KBX.
KBX.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be KIV.
It should be KIV, but
But
KIV don't hit.
KBX is sound
Sounds
harder.
tough.
KIV don't hit.
What does Untitled offer? What, like Bart said, what don't we offer? Right? We're a production house that we can get you whatever you need at the right price.
Minus weddings.
Well,
we could do weddings.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could do wedding.
the wedding
For the right
only at
price?
The right price.
Yeah, we want. Look, you want a movie for your wedding?
We could do that.
You can do that. Wow.
But the point of Untitled versus our individual pages is again to show collaboration effort, right? That's why
Yeah.
we also follow nobody because it's like we get a team to do the work we do. It's not just an individual. So we all pitch in, but like Untitled is more than just us.
It's a company.
Yeah.
It's a company. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think the point is to push people towards Untitled to have, like, if you have a bigger budget, when you reach out to one person, you say, it's only one guy. Like, 1,000 should suffice. Right? But when you reach out to a production company,
You have to think about
you know
yeah.
in the back of your mind, you're like, more money needs to be presented to the table if I want a full production. I want photos, videos. Like, if you go to one person, you might say, I was just looking for photos. I was looking for videos. But if you can tell a company, hey, I have a full production company, we can get everything done under this one umbrella. First of all, that's going to save them time and money.
Yeah.
Business guy. And they'll offer you probably more of their budget.
Yeah.
If they're only using you for one thing, they're just gonna give you a small portion. But if you can do everything, you can get more bang for your buck. Or they'll get more bang for their buck, but you ultimately make more money as a production company, as opposed to just being like the photographer on set, as opposed to like shooting the whole project. Like every photo, video, promo, gaffing, like you'll make so much more money like as a team, and we can pull those people together to shoot. So that's why I get started.
And I'm gonna just jump in and say, like John saying, Untitled is a production company, but we are individuals. We can get pulled to shoot something else, and that's totally fine. Untitled can pull a totally different director, a totally different team to work, right? Doesn't mean that we are directing that project. We are still possibly involved, but that's just the company. So it's a totally different entity than what we are, because we're all, the three of us, Untitled, JBV, KidInBox, we're all different, right? But Untitled is a company where we are just individuals that work under the company if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Do y'all have like a go-to team in place whenever y'all do get pulled for something? And if y'all could have it y'all way?
No. I think it depends on the project.
Yeah, it depends on the project, because everyone has their strengths, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna use somebody that's really good at like shooting like production stuff or podcast stuff, and then we need a music video, you know? Like, probably our best shooter for that project. So it's project based though, but we have a range of people that we can rely on in different areas. Yeah.
Friendships, different projects call for different people.
Yeah.
It's like a sports photographer being asked to shoot a wedding, right? And their niche is sports. It's not gonna make sense. So it's like we need to make sure we get the right person and
for the job.
Vice versa. Or if not, ask somebody that can suggest to you the right person, and then you can work with that person that suggested.
Yeah, like if Bryce shooting on an event, you know, he might hit me up, he might not. I get it though, because like events is really, the thing is like, I've shot events, but this is not my thing. Like, I can do it, but should I be the first guy you call?
Probably not.
Probably not. You know, probably not. But if you
it's real for you to even admit that though. I said it's real for you to admit that.
No. Like, don't sleep. The shot gonna be good, but like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna really get my creative bag and shoot like that. Like, I'm talking about concert wise. Event wise is like party recaps and things of that nature. I can be the guy. I could definitely be a second shooter for that. I'm talking about like event concerts. I'm just I'm okay. I'm alright.
I'm shooting that concert.
You love concerts though. What are y'all favorites of your work?
Favorites of my work?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough because I would tell you none. But I would say
you have to have a favorite.
Like our work that we've done so far.
Yeah. Like whether it's it doesn't have to be the whole project. It can be like you really just enjoyed the pre-production or the post-production or like actually shooting, but like what projects like have spoken to y'all? If that might be a better wording for the question that y'all have done. And it could be together, it could be individually, but
I might say the Fire Drill project just because I learned so much of like just fighting through the adversity of everything not going your way.
Yeah.
I don't know why I really shook into my core that like throughout those days of like people not pulling up that it was like pain in my heart. Like people I thought were my friends, like I think just learning how to fight through adversity while shooting and keeping good spirits. Because bro, I'm telling you, as a director, as you continue to grow, like people feed off your energy. So on set, if you're like dull or you have like an attitude or you kind of upset, like people can feel that.
Yeah.
People also start to kind of shy away or just zone out. So just learning how to fight through that, like, oh, I'm upset and I don't really feel like doing this right now. And being positive, always in the moment, just being grateful. You know, we're all blessed to just even have the mind and eye to shoot. So yeah, I think Fire Drill is my best because I learned the most
from it.
Yeah, I learned the most from that about myself and just like just believing in the team that I gathered together to help me shoot it. So I'd probably be like, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We ate good.
Love that.
We ate, bro.
We did. I'm being dead serious.
I ordered like Sardi's at the crib.
I don't know what day.
You don't recall?
Outlander was in. You eat Sardi's or pizza?
Pizza? Don't feel like it's gourmet. Okay. I think favorite for me. Dang, I don't know. I like. I gotta really think, man. Okay, I have this problem where like when I drop something, I don't like it as much.
You want me to pull up the website?
No. Leave that website, bro.
Yo, like, hey, what's right here?
Don't go to it. Don't look at the website just yet. There's some upgrades coming to it. I'd say what song was it? I don't remember. It was the Drake visualizer with Yachty. What was it called?
Yeah, For All the Dogs.
Yeah, the For All the Dogs. I enjoyed my project with our lovely talent. It's Nine. We did very great. Because that one we did, it was like we had a limited number of time. So it was like 4 hours, get 3 shots, do whatever you want, but it needs to be a visualizer. And I enjoyed that. Had a lot of fun. And we finished early, so I was like, wow, great. Finished early. Pre-production worked out, everything worked out fine, so I was happy with that. I did a fashion film 2 years ago. And one of my favorite shots is I had a talent riding on this bike it's by the Watergate steps in DC. It's probably one of my most favorite shots. And if you go on my page, it's there right now.
Rock Creek Park. They actually fenced it up now, so you couldn't get that shot no more.
Really?
You know, Rock Creek, yeah. You can't. That shot like that you got of her riding along the water. Mm-hmm. It's fenced up. You can't get that shot.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's probably one of my all-time favorite shots I've ever got. And I could even actually get the shot. Believe it or not, I was like, I had to trust the team because like it's a team effort, right? So in order to get that shot, the camera is mounted onto the side of the truck, right? And one person is operating the truck and the other person is operating the camera. And I'm actually standing outside, so I have to wait till the footage is done because I got to make sure that the talent's going in the direction that I want them to, like at the right speed, right?
You shot that using the controller.
Yeah, was it you that drove? Was that you that
really?
drove? Or was it Ali?
Ali drove and I controlled. We used a PS2 controller to control the gimbal.
It was like a PS4 controller.
PS4 controller. Yeah,
so it controlled the actual camera outside. So I can show you guys later, but it's like as they're driving, one person's driving, and then we have a live feed that's coming in from the camera, so you can see what it looks like as they actually control like a video game. So you can actually move the camera up, down, side to side, and they did that to capture that shot. So that's probably one of my favorite shots of all time that I've ever captured so far, currently in my career. And then I'd say so covered music, covered something with fashion. I think experience-wise, I haven't gone through all my stuff from my trip to Ghana, but like in that, I have a lot of beautiful shots that I captured, but I still haven't had the time to go through that trip. Both trips in 2023 and 2024.
Yeah,
so yeah. So yeah, I have some.
We got some things that we need to get out.
We have some. Actually, I dropped a short film about me not getting the stuff out, and I still never did it. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch that. Talk about why I didn't get the project out.
No, mine are more like family stuff. I just recording for my own eyes.
Okay. Yeah.
I ain't really sharing. I'm not really about to show all that.
You don't have to. Remember it, guys. Document.
Yeah, document.
Document your life, but doesn't mean post everything about your life. Just document it for yourself. Because you don't have to share everything you shoot. Not everything needs to be seen. Everything's not meant to be seen. Because not everybody's for you. So remember that. Somebody will look at that footage, screenshot it, keep it.
Look where he from.
Okay, and then they'll use it against you. No, not everything needs to be shared on the internet. Shoot for yourself, keep for yourself.
We're in the same place now.
Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, okay. But yeah, trust. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at with some of my favorites.
So how do y'all picking up on the document but don't post everything, right? Mm-hmm. How do y'all deal with putting out content and also understanding that this is something that you wanted to do, but what happens if it's not received as intended? And I don't know if y'all went through this, but like, how do you kind of navigate a project that like, of course you did it because you had passion for it, you put it out, and it's like, oh wait, like this ain't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't what I was expecting.
When you say, can you clarify what you mean by like this is like it's not well received?
Yeah, so it's not well received for whatever reason, but
okay,
yeah.
So like the people just didn't like it or like and such like online.
But how do we know, or what do we define as
well received?
Because I don't think likes are really an indicator.
Yeah.
In today's time on Instagram of like what is well received or not, because it's just a lot of like BS on our timeline.
Yeah.
Right? Like, a lot of stuff I'm scrolling through, I'm like, I don't follow this person. Like, why is it on my time? So you could drop something in your friends and just actually never see it. The people that follow you just may never see it. So
Yeah. Because the algorithm is against you.
the algorithm just really right now is weird. So I don't know what I would define. It depends on what you define as well received. I don't think I've done anything or pushed any boundaries enough to say I've made something that wouldn't be well received. You know?
Okay. So would you say that you're personally, well, not, let me not say personally, but more so emotionally attached to some of the work that you put out, or most of the work that you put out?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm cool.
Oh, never mind.
Cool.
When you say emotionally attached, what do you mean by that, though? I'm from. What's your definition?
Of emotionally attached?
Yeah, taking it personal. Somebody has something to say about it.
And not even that, because I believe in constructive criticism. So like you was talking about even sending it to friends, like getting the feedback. Like I for sure believe in constructive criticism, but I would say in the aspect of like, I'd be saying like Toonie, which is the name of my style and creative direction like agency. It's like my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like even going back to like, I see God like using this to change me in so many ways. But I don't know, like I would say like I take not things personal, but like it's like when I put something out, I kind of want to see, does the perception match what I planned with this? And also,
Dangerous though.
but, and I guess my thing is like going back to storytelling, wanting to tell, like making a story and hoping that story is received the way that I intended it to be.
I actually have a question for you.
Correct. No,
Do you really mean that? Where are you posting your project?
I would say as of right now, Instagram. Mostly, YouTube is
Okay.
coming soon.
No. Because
No.
YouTube is the truth.
Yeah,
You know, I feel like if you put it on Instagram, it's really for the people that already follow you. Like, you need to put that work out for more people to see, to really get a real opinion. Because unless you have honest friends, like I can send Bryce something, he'd be like, nah, this is trash. Like,
yeah,
I don't send my work to yes men because I will get better if I do.
yeah.
Right? So I think it depends on where you put in your work to get that real constructive
Criticism.
Yeah, that's like the real, like, to determine if you really growing or not.
Yeah,
Because if you everything, if I put everything on my JBV and I never send it out to other people, I can like pick their brain about it, or people are more well advanced in their career. Like, why wouldn't I think I'm the best thing out since? Like,
yeah.
like, why wouldn't I? If everyone's just
Saying
yes,
yeah,
yes,
it's
yes,
amazing.
yes, yes.
That's real.
You know, so you gotta learn to foster like a community that's gonna push you, also encourage you though, not just shun your work and shame you. Because Brian will say one thing is bad, but he also compliment, hey, I like this part of it. You know, give you a little
Yeah,
to balance it out. But you just gotta put your work in different spaces so that you can get that criticism. Because you just post to Instagram, that's your support. You gotta get outside of that if you want to really grow. Because they give different opinions are all the
on
opinions
different
you need,
platforms.
all the opinions you need are not on Instagram.
Yeah,
Outside Instagram. Instagram is a support system.
yeah.
In my opinion. That's what I would say.
So y'all have mentors in the space?
People I can talk to.
Okay.
I'm looking for a mentor. I'm like, I want an official mentor, but it's just developing a real relationship, you know? I don't want to just post somebody like, yo, can you please mentor me? I'm not that type of person. Like, I want to develop a real relationship and then let it grow towards a mentorship as opposed to, like I said, just straight shot, yo, can you be my mentor? It's like, that's not develop like long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Be like transactional. So,
Okay, I see that.
Depends. You can. I have a mentor friend. I don't even know if he'll call himself my mentor, but I call him my mentor.
You
And
like that though.
huh?
You like that.
He liked that though. I met him off Instagram. We actually didn't meet in person until last year. We've known each other since 2018.
Jeez.
And when I met him, I was just like, yeah, I was like, this is my senior brother, yes sir. Because I was when I went there, I was like, when I met with him for a job, I was learning. I was like, yeah, there's a lot that I don't know. And I was like thrilled, right? And that's cool. But sometimes with mentorship, it's hard to find someone. So it's like, if you do see someone, it's like, what can you offer them, right? And that's what helps starts that conversation. So instead of saying, oh, mentor me, it's more so like, hey, I see that you're doing this. I would love to help you and assist in this. Would love to come and watch and learn. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Because then that can turn into mentorship where they're showing you things versus saying, oh,
Can you help me?
because nobody wants to help somebody who's going to just get up and go.
Yeah.
Right. Versus if you offer that you can help them or study from them. No, sorry, not. Or you can help them or assist them in what they're doing. They're more likely to take you on. Right. And then eventually it gets to a cap where it's like paying for mentorship it may sound crazy at first, but it's also what helps get stuff to the point. If I'm paying you to guide me in a service, you're gonna guide me there because like I'm paying you X amount of money. It's not he's just hanging around for free. No, I'm getting paid by him, so I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get him to what they want me to help them with.
Yeah.
So paying for mentorship is also not bad, but just making sure that it's the right person.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just get you for your bread if you let them.
Yeah.
So yeah. But mentorship is key though. The people that you think are ahead, they're ahead because they have guidance. It's not because they're so tough. They're tough because they have somebody to show them what they need to do to get ahead.
I agree with that. I have 3 questions left.
No,
Right. Younger, like when y'all were younger, would y'all have seen this for yourself?
No, I wanted to shoot sports, bro. No, I didn't think I would be where I wouldn't have thought that I've shot the things I've shot or been to the places I've been at all. So no, not at all.
I never pictured myself with a camera ever. Like even in high school, I was doing the yearbook club just so I can get like an easy A for my GPA. When I had to take photos of the like sports events, like soccer games and stuff, like bro, I didn't even try. Like I literally just gave the camera to my friends. Like, yo, take photos. Like I don't know how. I'm grateful that it sparked because again, I had no idea this is what happened. Like, and ever since I did pick up a camera with passion and intentionality, that like now I feel like it's part of like it's part of it. I'll never put the camera down.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me. Like you literally could not pay me to put the camera down now. But before
You couldn't pay me to pick it up.
literally, did not think about it ever, bro. Like ever. So yeah. So.
What can we expect, whether from KVX, from JVV, or from Untitled? Whether we say the end of the year, within the next year, but what can we expect?
It's a good question.
It's a great question.
More work, honestly. I think Brian and I, we just had a conversation about doing more things consistently and putting constraints on ourselves so that we can get it done. Because right now, I think we're at a space where our ideas are exceeding a budget that is sustainable to keep doing, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, we'll have an idea where it's like, bro, I need to rent a school. Now what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How can you constrain that to maybe like a classroom? I'm just saying, bro, like, like a lot of people let the idea, like they get stuck at the idea. It's just like, create constraints that you can create within and just work. Because the goal is for somebody else to see the vision and invest in it. Whether they hire you or they, bring you on a project, just do. Don't wait, do. Because if you wait, no one's gonna know what you had up here. No, like it's cool to tell your friends, you see somebody post like, I had that idea.
What'd you do with it?
Do with it.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, God gonna give it to somebody else. It's
not
gonna just stay on your mind. You think you're the chosen one in the world? Nah, a lot of talented people. So that's what I would say.
I ain't gonna lie. You gotta say the question one time.
I was saying,
I was lost in his answer.
What can we expect?
Yeah. Okay, what can we expect? He said more work. I do agree. I think that's it. More work, but consistently more work because we can give you more work, but it might be might get one video this quarter, another video next quarter. Now we need to up it a little bit more. But I think the problem that John was saying is that we didn't have our constraints, and that's what's been limiting us. So we were limiting ourselves, and that's what we want to get out now. So more stuff.
How do y'all feel about building sets?
Building sets?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like you talking about, let's say I needed a classroom, right? Like you getting a studio and building one out. But
that's my only thing is budget.
If I have the budget, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't have the budget, then it's still fun, but
it's strenuous.
Yeah, but it's good practice though.
Yeah.
So you get the most creative probably when you're down bad.
For sure. For sure.
That's
No,
not
he's
completely right. But the way
He's
you
very
got-
real.
you got he's
too
not
much
wrong.
Budget, you
You start being, you just
get
start,
lazy. Get
yeah.
lazy. Like, how can you get that? Like, okay, if you can't, then what?
Yeah.
So
I don't think, building set's not bad, but it's also like, depends on what we're building. Do we have the environment for it? Right? But building sets are not bad. We do a little set design here and there where we can, but we try to
just drag it.
we try to get the places that look the best already to avoid a set design, but we're getting there. Like, it's also hard to find somebody that we can get that we can do set design with, but that only do time.
Budget. You need budget for set design. I'll say that.
That's also another thing. It's just like set design is not cheap.
It's not free.
Yeah.
Right? Because
you have to source the stuff.
Yeah. And somebody has to put it together. So
yeah, somebody has to put it together, and that's somebody's time. And there are great designers, right? But it's like you need to give them budget to work with, right? Whether that's paying them or their team, or budget for rental. Because you can buy and return. We've done it for projects before where we bought the whole set and
no,
but we do everybody does it.
Shameless.
Everybody does it. You can buy the whole set and return the whole set and get all your money.
I most
definitely
bought pieces I styled people in and said,
return
don't
it.
take that tag off. Go and hide it.
Exactly. No, and
I respect that.
from the largest to the smallest, they all buy and return. Why would I keep something if I can return and get my money back and use it for the next project?
Buying and using.
Okay, well,
It's like, no.
designer sets. But no, in all seriousness, though, like, you can just buy and return and save your money.
Sure.
Right? And that's not a problem. So, and that if you give that budget to work with, actually, we just had a project that we just shot.
What about the project in Europe that we shot? Ads for.
Oh man,
We had a
that
bunch
no,
of-
that one we bought and kept. We didn't return. I don't think we returned
We
anything.
built things that couldn't like low key be like
Return.
Yeah, like, we built like table. Yeah,
table, roof lines.
yeah. Client ended up keeping it, but there was a project we just shot 2 months ago, and for that project we actually built. It was like a little bit of set design, but we had to purchase all the drapery. The client did,
Yeah.
and then we returned everything because we just needed it for that day. But
Yeah.
it was too much that we're not going to keep it. The client was going to keep it, so they ended up returning
Just,
everything.
just send it back.
Yeah, everything was sent back. So and that was logical because it's like nobody needs it.
Yeah.
We can get that money back, and because we considered rental, we were able to spend money just to get that stuff, temporarily use it and return. So
yeah.
worked out perfect.
That makes sense. Drake's like, come on.
Yeah.
Who's gonna carry that piece of Drake? Jones had me too.
But if you just like,
Trey.
no, I'm thinking about clothing. Yeah, that right. So I was like clothing, and like when we buy clothing, that's not really set design, but like if you dress in
I feel like
clothing,
stylists, I'm not sure. I feel
No,
like
but-
stylists, they source their, don't they?
Yeah, there's pool programs. So you
Yeah.
could like basically pull a piece.
Mhm.
They might charge you a rate, or they might just put a hold on your card.
But it's not to keep though.
not to keep.
Yeah,
you
not
give
to
it
keep
back.
everything. Yeah, you can return it. Yeah.
Some people be in pieces that's like, you know, you should try to keep that.
Yeah. Oh, see.
Yeah, but like for some other projects, we gave you a little ski mask. Keep it. Congrats, you got a ski mask.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I'm not gonna take a ski mask back. Like, what?
We all snotty nose.
I don't need that.
I'm not.
Like, y'all, what is
we got a $60 just for y'all. Like, we are not taking a single ski back home.
That's real.
Yeah, like I got some for skis. I got tees.
Tank tops.
Take them. Well, not all of them, but yeah.
Nah,
We can't return them.
yeah. We'll most definitely tap in. I actually had, I'll show you after pod, but the beanie, I wanted to use ski mask, like people in ski masks, but I couldn't get that many people and those many ski masks in time. So I had to do mannequin heads and scarves. But it worked. It worked.
It works, but like you said, when you're limited, you have creativity.
Yeah.
You get creative with what you
Pulling
have.
people together is definitely a task.
Yeah.
Trust.
Definitely a task. Like,
I can tell you about that. Wow.
man.
All right. Last question. Who are two people that y'all would like to see on the pod?
What industry?
Anything. Two people that y'all feel like y'all came, y'all did the pod, y'all got the curb experience is what we like to coin it. You've interacted with me, right? So people that you think that could fit the curb culture, could benefit from the curb experience.
I have a list. You know who they don't talk about enough. Who needs to talk? They have experience. They don't talk enough. You trying to get another shooter, you need to get Africa's Darkest on here.
AD knows ball.
Y'all don't know. AD has been in trenches. He's been in peaks, valleys. He knows a lot, but people just don't know because he be chilling.
I would say Josh Nathan.
Oh, JR?
JR. He knows
ball.
I heard that.
Trust.
Yeah, for sure. Like he has a wide knowledge of film.
Yeah.
He just knows and it's like he's really in love with the game. Like he watches a lot of film, he shoots, takes photos, edits, whatever, Jack all trades type of guy. So I would say Josh Nathan.
If you want a talented set designer that people don't know is actually, they're residing here for some time, but you can get Walter. If you get Walter and Josh, you might have a blast. The two of them together, right? Yeah. Walter's resume is deep, is way deeper than a lot of people combined in DMV. So you get Walter and Josh, they'll give you deep industry knowledge when it comes to film and photo. I feel like if you got to actually for Sean Cooper too. Did you get Sean Cooper?
You know Sean Cooper.
Let me stop playing.
The name sounds familiar, but I can't.
You seen his work.
He's
probably one of the most
notable.
Notable film photographers in the DMV area. So
yeah, Tubbs is one that's right too.
Yeah,
Tubbs is good. Oh, because you are a stylist.
Correct.
Yeah, you should get Walter. Walter's a stylist as well.
Fashion stylist?
Yeah, Walter was a stylist first. That's what he started with. If I'm not mistaken, Walter, if I said it wrong, send me a text. But Walter is a stylist and set designer. But I think he's moved away from styling people, but he'll give you the knowledge you're looking for. He knows a lot. A lot. He's deep in the industry.
Yeah, he's
trust.
Tie me in. Let's get that. Let's get this stuff scheduled.
He cool people. So.
Yeah. All right, but with that being said, this might have been one of the longer episodes of the season. Sorry, No, but I hope y'all sat through it. I genuinely enjoyed sitting here learning from these two. I hope this is not the last time we get to chit chat, and make some jokes. But great work. I don't know a lot of people that are working as hard as them. So many different projects and different avenues. If you're not tapped in, please tap in for your benefit. They're going great places, very fast. And with that being said, we're out.
All glory to God, man.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, I couldn't go without saying that.
All right, let's do thumbnail.